I've been feeling a little bit off lately. We came back from a trip a few weeks ago and it was such a nice time, but readjusting back to routine has just been a little bit challenging. The seasons are also changing, so it's getting colder again, and the days are getting shorter, it's getting gloomy again, and it really does affect my mood. And this is why I feel like I really need to get back on track and do a reset. I want to do not exactly a complete overhaul, but something similar to it, so I can feel like I'm a little bit in the flow again. So in this video today, we're going to cover routines, productivity, discipline, and balance. I'll talk you through what I'm going to reset my mindset, simple habits that build discipline, work and mom life routines, organizing and cleaning my home, and self-care that helps me to feel like myself again when I'm feeling unmotivated. So if that sounds good to you, let's dive into it, shall we? Morning mindset reset. I have to be honest to you, and these are things that I haven't been doing recently. These are things that I used to do, but now I've been feeling a little bit off, a little bit all over the place, so I just want to go get back into these things again. But things like journaling, affirmations, meditating, visualizing, those are things that I all used to do before. And I really want to get back to incorporating at least one of them each day. That way I can start my day feeling more intentional and actually more grounded. Next are simple habits that build discipline. Think about tiny wins that you can accumulate throughout the day. Things like making your bed, putting out workout clothes, prepping food, and just things that'll make your day go a bit more smoothly. It's all about making things easier for ourselves so that we don't have to fight it too much. It's easier to make the right choices when there's not too many blockages that you have to get through. I'll give you an example. So, I need to start my day with a good breakfast, right? I feel like even if the rest of the day I don't eat very well and I eat like crap the worst days, I know that my breakfast is good. And so I always like to start with a good breakfast. But this isn't always easy to do, especially on the days that we're more busy than usual and just things are a little bit all over the place. So what I found works best for me is really meal prepping. So one of the things that I meal prep for breakfast is overnight oats. If you've been on my channel for a while, if you follow me on Instagram, this is something that I do several times a week. I prepare overnight oats for myself and for my husband, and I prepare like in one go the night before. I prepare in one go several overnight oats for me and him so that we can eat from it for like 2 days, and then we're set for the next 2 days. And then after that, I can see if I want to switch it up or if I want to do it for the next days again. It's just so easy and convenient because I know that I can just wake up, grab it from the fridge in the morning, and then I can just add some toppings that I want, and that's it. It's so easy when you're in a hurry in the morning and you're just a little bit groggy and things just need to go really quickly. It's easy to just get something that you can grab and go, and it's nice that you have immediately something healthy on hand. It also takes away the blockage, the barrier of having to think about what am I going to eat this morning, blah blah. Like, it takes up so much mental capacity that you don't want to use first thing in the morning because there's just so many things that you'll have to make decisions on throughout the day. It's easier if these little things are just already decided for you and you don't have to think. Creating simple habits like this really helped me to build the discipline and consistency that I want. In the mornings when I want to work out, I already prep my workout clothes the night before so that it's already ready for me and I don't need to think about it when I wake up. And it's also a good reminder for me, oh yeah, I was planning to work out today, so I immediately just put it on in the morning when I can, and I go straight to a workout as soon as possible, so I just get it out of the way. Consistency is also more important than motivation. Motivation is so fleeting, and even the most disciplined people will tell you that they're not motivated every single day, 24/7. That's just not possible. They're humans after all. So if you can't be motivated on all the time, what do? How are they still able to show up, and how are they still able to make the healthy choices and make the right decisions that help them to stay disciplined? It's habits like this that they were able to accumulate over time that help them to stay consistent. One of my favorite tricks for creating new habits is actually stacking it on top of a habit that I already had. So for instance, I want to start meditating again, right? I'm just going to now start stacking it on top of a habit that I already have established. So for instance, drinking water first thing in the morning. So this is one of the first things that I do when I wake up, drinking a full glass of water. So if I stack meditation right after drinking a full glass of water, the full glass of water becomes my trigger to remind myself, oh yeah, now it's time to meditate. And then once I pair these two tasks right after the other for several days or several weeks, will be actually ideal. Then it becomes an automatic thing and my brain doesn't even need to think too much, that it already associates after drinking water, it's time to meditate. It'll be much easier because I don't need to think about it and I don't need to fight it anymore or make a decision first thing in the morning. It's just an automatic thing. Also, if you're starting a new habit, remember to take it slow. Make it so that the new habit is almost too easy to do, so that it'll help you to start, because starting is always the most difficult part. So let's say for the meditation example, I want to start meditating again. I will start, let's say, for 5 minutes for the first few weeks, because I want to just build up that discipline, that habit of meditating, so that I don't need to have to think about it and it becomes an automatic behavior for me. So I'll just start with 5 minutes. That seems very doable for me. That seems like something that I can do and something that I have time for. 5 minutes, no problem. And once I establish the 5 minutes, if I want to build it up to, like, say 10 minutes, 20 minutes later on, I can do that still. But I already have the foundation, the basis of having 5 minutes every single day. The key to building discipline is not just showing up when it's hard. That's also important. But it's also curating your environment to make it easier for yourself to do the habit, the behavior that you want to do. Taking out all the possible excuses will make it so easy for you to do the behavior that you want yourself to be doing. And this will also make it more likely for you to stay consistent with your habits. Let's talk about resetting daily routines. My daily routines have changed over the last few years. And it's something that I know will keep changing depending on my season of life and also depending on the literal seasons. Like now that it's getting colder out, it's getting darker outside, my routine now is very different from my routine from the summer and will also be different from next summer when it comes. My baby's also sleeping throughout the night more and more these days, compared to just a few months ago where she wakes up multiple times a night. So it obviously impacts my energy levels and I'm able to have better energy when I wake up in the morning because I'm not so sleep deprived anymore, and this obviously impacts the way that my routine goes and the way that I show up in the morning and throughout the day. Now that I'm consciously crafting a new routine for myself, I realize that I need extra time in the morning before the kids wake up to just fill my own cup first. And so I want to start waking up a little bit earlier than I really need to, which is what I used to do before. And it's now something that I want to do again, to wake up a little bit earlier in the morning so I have this whole stretch of time, even just like 30 minutes to myself, that I can pour into my own cup first and do all the things that I want to do, like affirmations, meditation, journaling, etc. And to just have time to do that first before anything else. So the way that I structure my day to manage home life and work is, my goal is that I'm as present with my kids as a mom at home as I am at work. So the worst possible scenario is that I'm not present at home and I'm also not present at work, and that's happened to me multiple times already. All have days like that, but my goal is to be present with both as much as I can. Definitely on easy balance, but I try to work around the time that I have and maximize the time that I have as much as I can so that I can do what needs to be done, but also make space for the things that I want to do too. This is actually why my planner and my calendar are such vital tools for me every single day. These are things that I use every day because it helps me to stay sane and to stay on top of my things to do. They help me to stay organized and keep on track, especially on the busy days. So I have a personal calendar, and my husband and I also have a shared calendar as a family, as a unit, so that we're not crossing each other and we're not forgetting things. On my planner, on the other hand, is where I dump all of the to-dos and all of the things that I need to remember and all of the things that I need to spend some time on. And it gives a really good overview of what my days and what my weeks look like, so I know what to expect. Now, I'm not a neat freak by any standards, but I do like to keep things orderly as much as possible. Our house is far from perfectly tidy and clean because we have 2 little kids, and it just gets messy very easily, especially since we don't really give them screen time, but that's another story for another day. Both of us work as well. It's not easy to be able to keep the kids happy and spend some time and quality time with the family and still keep your house immaculate and still be able to work really well and still be able to do things for yourself. It's just a little bit much sometimes. But having a tidy and clean space definitely helps for the mental load. I really do feel like much better, much lighter when I see that the surroundings at my house is tidier and cleaner and more organized. It helps me to focus better and lowers my stress when I see how clean and tidy it is. It's also honestly therapeutic to do some cleaning and to just zone out to a good audiobook, to a good podcast, or to just listen to some tunes and just clean away. I wish I had more time to do that. I do that when I can, but I really don't have that much time or as much energy to do that all the time. I do have some tips that I want to share here. Maybe it's things that you've already heard, but maybe some of you haven't heard of some of these things. So I'm just going to share it here in case it's helpful to somebody. So one is setting a timer just to clean. This is something that's especially helpful for those of us who don't have that much time or who don't have just that much energy or even really want to actually clean, but we know that we have to. So when I see that the house is just a little bit too chaotic for my liking and I just don't have that much time or energy or want to do it, I just set like 15-30 minutes, if I have more time, an hour of time to just clean as much as I can and tidy up as much as I can and just go ham at it. And it does really help, and sometimes it doesn't feel like it's much, especially when you don't have much time to really clean and really get in there, and sometimes it's frustrating that you have to actually stop right now. But I always say that doing a little bit is better than not doing anything at all, and it really helps for you to get started if you're trying to get through the hump of starting. Also helps to motivate me just because I know that there's a deadline that always is like a little bit at the back of my head, like, okay, now it's time. Now I have to really do it. If I'm feeling particularly tired or unmotivated, I also find that 9 times out of 10, when I watch somebody else cleaning, like a cleaning video, even when I wasn't even planning to actually clean, I just felt like while watching somebody clean their own house, 9 times out of 10, I end up cleaning as well. So it's just so motivating for me for some reason to see somebody else cleaning their house. Even when I'm just like on the couch, I don't have much energy, I'm just like eating something random and then I'm just watching somebody clean. Usually after like a video or maybe even 2, I just catch myself already cleaning as well. So I love just watching those videos because it's just sometimes so motivating to see somebody else do what you know what you should do. Another thing I try is to try to break down my chores throughout the week so that it doesn't feel like this big mountain that I have to get all done in a weekend and I didn't have time to relax or spend time with my family anymore. Plus the kids are also all over in the weekend, so they're just here all the time, and it makes it a little bit more difficult to get some cleaning done and some tidying done when they're also undoing kind of your work. So it's better to spread it out throughout the week, I find, and it also makes it more manageable, so you have like a task or 2 of small things that you need to get done throughout the day. So it makes it easier to have the house more or less tidy. There are obviously some things that need to be done daily, like unloading the dishwasher, for instance. This is something that I don't love doing, but I do it every single day because if I don't, then it's just more overwhelming, and I just like kick myself if I don't because it's so annoying, and then everything piles up. I usually load and run dishwasher at night before going to bed, and then in the morning it's perfectly ready and I unload it then, so it's ready for more dishes to be put in it. I also want to share a few things that I do for myself when I feel a little bit off. It's a sign that I need to refocus on taking care of myself again, so that I don't go down the spiral and end up burning out or getting in a rut. One of the things that I do is start going to bed earlier. And now I know that it's not always possible and it's not always easy, especially as moms, because we have just a list a mile long. But if you feel like this will help you, you should really definitely give it a try, because this definitely helps me. I'm somebody who needs my sleep. I'm just a sleepy person and I just need enough time to relax and to unwind and to recover. And I notice for myself that when I don't get enough sleep, I just get crankier and I'm just more tired and I'm just slower at doing my tasks. So it's actually more beneficial to me to be able to rest enough and sleep enough. And I feel so much better in the morning, and I feel so much better throughout the day, and I feel more in a better headspace to get things done and to be more productive. I'm also faster and things, so it actually works much better and in my favor when I do. Another thing that I like doing is actually just pausing and reflecting on how grateful I am. This is something that we hear all the time from people, but it really is true. Instead of focusing on the things that I don't have, I try to refocus my brain to the things that I do have and the things that are going well and the things that are good in my life. Because it's so easy. Actually, our brains, fun fact, our brains are actually more wired to focus on the negative things, because it's kind of like a survival thing that has been developed from long time ago, because it's a way for our brains to spot some threats, right, in nature. So it's more focused on spotting all the negativities, all the threats, potential threats to our lives, and that's how our brain works, and that's why we put more focus into those things than we do to the positive. So this is something that you'll have to retrain your brain over and over again to actually focus more on the positive instead of always on the negative. And this is something that I've been trying to do for several years now, and it's a long process, but it really does help when you try to start focusing on more of the positive things in life. It really does help you feel more positive, like have a more positive outlook, a positive mindset, and it really does slowly but surely help you to feel better just in general, and just feel not so down and not so negative about things in life. Another thing is watching a girly show or movie is just a little luxury treat for myself when I am able to do this. This is something that I used to love when I was young, when I was a teenager, watching those things, and it just gives me like a sense of ease, a sense of relax, and it really does fill my cup as well, because I just feel so like this is nice. And when I let myself be able to do that and just relax and just not think about all the things that I have to do, because we always just have something to do, right? Like, it's never gonna go away. So just try to pause a little bit and give yourself a break, and you'll feel so much better afterwards. Imagine doing this while sipping on a warm beverage and cuddled with a cozy blanket. It's just so nice, especially during the cold season. Now that the months are getting colder, it's just so cozy and warm and nice. Of course, doing an everything shower, pampering myself, doing like a hair treatment, face mask, foot mask, doing some nice luxury lotions or oils on my skin. It just feels so nice and makes me feel like taken care of, even if it's me taking care of me. Obviously, you can also go to a spa or go book yourself an appointment for a massage or treat yourself like in the salon and things like that. So all things of that nature really does help us to you know, like give back to ourselves a little bit and make us feel a bit more like ourselves and I feel maybe a little bit more beautiful again. I just see this a nice way to treat my body with love and respect the way that it deserves. And lastly, doing something active like going on a walk, doing like yoga or Pilates, doing like sport, booking yourself a class, going to the gym, something like that, or doing a hike with a friend or something, anything that gets your body moving and your blood pumping is so good for your mental health and also for your physical health as well. So you're hitting so many things in one go when you do this, and it's just nice to be able to refocus your energy and your mind as well into something else instead of like the everyday things that you're always maybe stressing about. And I know that's not something that's easy to get started. It's always more difficult for me to start something like this, but once you do it, when you're doing it or afterwards, you always feel so much better. I absolutely love routines. I also have a wind down routine for when the kids are in bed. So not so long ago, I actually posted a night routine that's an updated night routine for me, so you can see more or less what I do there. So I'll post it here as well if you're interested. But this usually consists of doing a small chore like cleaning up the kitchen or dining and just loading the dishwasher to run at night, setting my clothes for the next day and the things I need for the next day already ready so that I don't have to think about it in the morning and it's something that I can just grab and go. Meal prepping for breakfast for the next day and making sure that I have my meals for the next day as well helps to make things go more smoothly. And also having an overview, looking at my agenda and my calendar to see what are the things that are coming up and what are the things that I maybe need to mentally prepare for or something that I actually need to prepare for the night before so that I'm not rushing the next day. Enjoying some quality time with my husband and then closing off with reading a nice cozy book before going to sleep is just my favorite kind of unwinding routine. This also helps to signal to my body that okay, now she's unwinding, so this means that this is a trigger for us to remember that it's time to go to sleep. And this, I think, is one of the reasons why I don't have any difficulty falling asleep. I'm like asleep way too quickly sometimes. I'm like still trying to finish my book and I just want to read a little bit more, but I'm just already so sleepy. I feel like my mind, my body is just already prepped for sleep because of the unwinding routine that I do, and it makes it so easy to immediately fall asleep, which is great, especially when you just want to maximize your hours of sleep. And this routine also helps me to feel a little bit more prepared for the next day instead of being so chaotic and rushed. And that's the end of this video. If you've fallen off the wagon and you feel like you need to get back on track like I have, you're definitely not alone. Let's start a new season with gentle consistency to build onto that discipline and enjoy the rest of the year as it comes to a close. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and comment what you're doing to be able to get back on track before the end of 2025. Follow me on Instagram for more mom life content, motivation. I wish you a great rest of the week and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!